Welcome back to iHeart Crypto. So, Bitcoin coming in at 21,900, and we're just going to talk a little bit about whether we think the market has bottomed, and what can we be expecting in the future. This is supposedly a fairly big week for the markets. We got the Dow Jones and the traditional markets just opened up, and if we're looking, the Nasdaq. Let's look on the 1 hour here, and the Nasdaq is opened negative for the day, although that doesn't look terrible at the moment. Looking like we're getting a little bit of a bounce here. The Dow Jones opening negative, S&P opening negative. Let's see how Bitcoin is reacting. Bitcoin is also heading down at the very moment, so interesting. Yeah, so let's just take a look at the macro. So, here we go. Again, we have a new weekly candle. And on our Heikin-Ashi candles, it actually is opened on green. So, that's actually a good sign for a continuation of an uptrend. Okay? And one thing we've been looking at is on Market Cipher, we got the weekly green dot. We got a weekly green dot over here that marked the bottom, okay? And on our BLX chart back here, we got two green dots that marked the bottom back here back in 2015. Okay, so, that's just something to think about. Now, one thing that's got my head spinning is the traditional markets. Because if the traditional markets go down, then everything goes down. Alright? So, we got a green dot here on the S&P 500. We got a green dot here on the S&P 500, all right, which marked the bottom. We did get we could say we could be looking at it like a little bit more like 2015 here. We got two green dots. We made a little rally up, and then we continued down. All right. We got a bunch of green dots over here back in 2008, and if it is anything like 2008, then we have a lot more downside to go. All right, you have your weekly green dot, get a little rally. All right, so look, again, you were kind of in like a little falling channel, just like we are now. All right. The little falling channel. Excuse me. Not feeling great at the moment. But, boom, we could be like right around here. Here's your relief rally. Boom. Fell down. So, even from here, we got a little relief rally, and then we still fell another 50%. So, is that what's happening here? All right, looks a little similar, right? You got your weekly green dot. You're gonna. I think I'm dying. You got your weekly green dot. Have a nice rally to the upside, and then boom, you're gonna fall another 50% down to the point of control here. Let's see if that's right. Let's say we fall another 50%. That's 30%. There we go. That's a little bit more like it. Try that. Fall from there. Yeah, it makes a little bit more sense. Alright. So, honestly, I remain bearish. I definitely remain bearish. Let's take a look at Bitcoin in the short term. I want to make this a short video. Don't really have much going on today. It's a Monday. Not much, really going on. Let's jump into Bitcoin here on the short-term time frame. See what's happening. I'm getting a little bit of a dumpy dump. Let's go to our regular candles. Yeah, we're moving down. Ain't nothing new. What do we want to hold here? Ooh, we got yellow X's popping up on the 1 hour. That's That's not a good sign. That is not a good sign. Money flow coming down. Momentum could be making a lower low. Although momentum looks like it's kind of coming back up on the 1 hour. You got snake eyes here. Alright. Let's see if there's a divergence. That is a divergence on... Look, you got a divergence here. You got a lower low. And then you got a higher low. Alright, so you do have divergence on the 1 hour. Something to be mindful of. So these yellow X's can mean manipulation, but it also means that it can be manipulated down to there and then pop back up. Alright? I mean, that's just something to keep in mind. Let's look at the 4 hour. 4 hour money flow is a nice curvature down. Momentum is coming down. That's not a good sign. Alright? You know, the short is basically over. Alright? In my opinion. I mean, what you could be looking for is, I mean, if you're looking, you're in this, you know, bear flag that you pop your head out above, right? And now you're coming back into it. I mean, you got this trend line down here to be mindful of, okay? Where you kind of had little peaks below it, right? But you also are also in a falling wedge, but you were also in a falling wedge over here that just turned into a channel that just continued down, and then you pop back up. I mean, essentially, we are just ranging, essentially. Let's go to the daily. The daily, VWAP is coming down. Alright, that's not a good sign. Money flow, looking like it wants to turn back up, but is not. Alright. 12 hour, your RSIs are all kind of jumbled up in here. But your VWAP is coming down hard. Hard. Alright. Little bit of time in the green, a lot of time in the red. That's bear market status. Alright, so in my opinion, my professional opinion, alright, it looks like we're going to be heading back down, at least probably to test these wick lows over here. You know, that's kind of seems what the general trend is, right? The trend is down, right? We broke this line of resistance, right? We had touches here, right? You touch here, then you broke out of it, little fake out above, and now you're back in underneath this resistance, and that is not a good sign. Okay, that is just in general not a good sign. What else is good, homies? That is it. Let's count these waves. I'm not much of a wave guy, but let's just see. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess you could say that was 5 waves up. That's what you want to see. So where are you now? You are 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not much for Elliott waves, but look at on Market Saver. You got bearish things popping up. 2 blood diamonds on your 4 hour. That is not a good sign. Let's see if we have any relief coming here in the lower. It looks like what I kind of expect is us to come back up and touch the top of this wedge here. All right, so let's go over to the 1 hour. All right, you do have touches here on the bottom of this wedge. It's not drawn like perfect. I think I drew it on my phone. There we go. So yeah, you're touching here. I do expect you to come back up and touch the top of this channel right here. All right, so this is more than likely just a stop hunt. See how they bring the price down, and they're gonna bring it back up. All right, let's see if we get above this yellow line on the day and see where that takes us. If we don't get it back above this yellow line, in my opinion, you can see a fairly reasonable dump on this Monday. All right, that's just what I'm thinking. All right, what else is there? I mean, one thing I was looking at is on the weekly, you know, the time spent in the red on Market Cipher. So let's just come over here to the Coinbase chart. All right, we spent somewhere around 110 days in the red right here, and then we bottomed and kind of came back up. All right, here we have now spent about 112 days in the red, and then to come back up. Alright? We got midterm elections coming up. I mean, we could just be going sideways around here. Honestly, it just doesn't look good in the macro. It just doesn't look good in the macro. Alright? It just doesn't look good. Let's look at the Dixie. The Dixie getting a nice little pullback. It's got its... I mean, but look at the Dixie. Look at the trend here. I mean, you got a lot of green, a little bit of red. A lot of green, a little bit of red. A lot of green, a little bit of red. A lot of green. So maybe this is just going to be your relief bounce before we head back down. It's very likely. It's very, very likely. You know, this looks similar to this. Right here. Right here. That's kind of like... It's kind of like the pattern I'm looking for. So, wait for us to come back up. If you get another blood diamond on the weekly on Market Cipher, man, that's going to be a great play. Alright, and that's what I'm going to be looking for. Alright. Anyway, that's going to be it for today's video. Keep it short and sweet, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.